Okay, good morning, Hirun. This is our online session. Um, let's share the booklet first. Okay, today we will, uh, okay, this is okay. Today we will explain or introduce new poem. Besides um, completing the Unit 4 O level, we started with countable and uncountable nouns. We finished the vocabulary of the unit. Today we have the articles, how to use the or no definitions uh, um, or an or articles generally. So today we will introduce articles and someone is here. Okay, Abdurrahman. Okay, I was saying that today we'll have a new poem plus completing Unit 4 O level. Unit 4 O level, I started introduce the vocabulary and the first part of countable and uncountable nouns here in online session last time. Today I'll complete the articles, how to use a and the no articles just after finishing introducing this new poem. Okay, let's remember together poetry. It's the first time for poetry this year. Of course, in the exam, it's unseen, but here we'll discuss together as kind of sample or example for what's gonna have for exam. Abdurrahman, can you hear me? Just tell me that you hear me.
Yes.
Okay, Abdurrahman, تمام. Okay, our new poem is I Am, I Am by John Clare. Let's quickly read the introduction. So, through the introduction, we know the mood of the writer or of the poet himself. John Clare was born to a poor family. The only education he received was basic reading and writing, so he wasn't very well educated or anything. He was the least well educated of all the greatest poets. So, John Clare is the least educated one. So, he is a great poet as well, but he's the least educated one. So this can be an indicator for the idea of the importance of education, but it's not a condition to be a great person to be well educated. Sometimes some people are genius people, some people are, we can, there are exceptions. John Clare is the one from the exceptions who wasn't well educated, but he was a great poet. His talent was greater than the idea of education. He was an English peasant poet, peasant like a farmer of the Romantic school. So he belongs to the Romantic school. Romantic school cares about the idea, not the idea of love, but itself as a love between man and woman. No, generally, romantic school related to the idea of loving nature, talking about the sky, the flowers, the beautiful weather, things like that. This is the romantic school. Claire was the son of a laborer and began work on on local farms at the age of 7. So this is something difficult again. So he was poor, not well educated, and worked at the age of 7. This is so harsh. Though he had limited access to books, he had limited access to books. His poetic gift, which revealed itself early, was nourished by his parents' store of the folklore. Early disappointment in love, so poor, not well educated, disappointed in love. For Mary Joyce, the daughter of the prosperous farmer, made the lasting impression on him. So he was sad all the time because of his bad conditions, and the last thing that made him sad forever or sadder than before or sadder than ever, that he had a love story that failed because his lover's father was prosperous farmer, was rich, wealthy, and of course he didn't accept him because he was poor. So this made a lasting impression on him. Forever he was sad. In 1835, Claire began to suffer from fears and delusions. Okay, so he began to suffer from fears and delusions like strange ideas, not doesn't belong. The idea doesn't belong to the reality. This is delusions. In 1837, he was placed in a private asylum at High Beach, where he remained for 4 years. So he was put into asylum. Asylum is a place for mentally ill people. So he was poor, whose love story failed. He didn't get enough education. He started to working when he was just a kid, and finally he was put in asylum, a place for people who have problems, mental problems, for 4 years. So, improved in health and driven by homesickness, he escaped in July 1847. He escaped from the asylum. Why? Because he became better and he wanted to go back to his country, to his place, to his home. So he escaped. He walked the 80 miles to Northborough, penniless, so no money at all, eating grass by the roadside to stay his hunger. So he escaped, and without any money, any food, he was about to die. Okay, there is a problem related to the connection. Okay, he left a moving account in prose of that journey, addresses to his imaginary life, Marie Claire. At the end of 1841, he was certified insane. Of course, the word insane means to lose, a person who lost his mind completely. Okay, he is seriously mentally ill. Can say crazy, but yeah, this is the correct word, insane. He spent the final 23 years of his life at St. Andrews Asylum, Northampton, writing some of his best poetry. So his best poems uh, were written actually when he was completely insane, when he was in the asylum. So here we can say, or we can guess that mad people, or people who have great problems related to their mentally life can be genius. So they can genius. Maybe this he's genius because he was completely insane. Okay, a person like that, it's easy to imagine what he could write. Poor, sad, completely lost his mind at the end, lost his love, lost his house, no family, no money, so completely miserable. Let's read together so we can understand, or understand what was inside him, or inside his mind, or heart. I am, yet what I am none cares or knows. My friends forsake me like a memory lost. I am the self-consumer of my woes. They rise and vanish in oblivious host, like shades and loves and death's oblivion lost. And yet I am and live like vapors tossed. Okay, so we're gonna read stanza by stanza and discuss. Okay, what's the idea here? He's talking about his feelings that nobody knows about him, nobody feels him, and this is true, by the way. I am none cares or knows. That means nobody cares about me. No one knows me. Actually, my friends forsake me like a memory lost. Left me. My friends left me as if they a memory lost. They lost me or they forgot me. I am the self-consumer of my woes. Woes here means sorrows or problems. So he's self-consumer. He consumes his sorrows alone. He's alone with his sorrows and sadness. They rise, they here means woes, the sadness or the problems. They rise and vanish in oblivious hosts. So not oblivious host means not to be noticed. No one notice when I am sad. No one notice when I am tired. No one notice when I fail. So no one notice me. Like shades and loves and death oblivion lost. So like shades here means ghosts or darkness. Oblivion means empty. So he feels that he's desperately lonely. He knows that he's alive, but doesn't seem that anyone notice him. No one notice his existence. His friends deserted him, left him. They don't even think about him. He can only he has no friends, so no one to share him his problems. So if we have problems, and this is something bad of course, but if we have people to share with us, this is okay, we can bear them. It's a kind of something that gives you the idea of you are not alone. But when you have problems and you are sad and you're alone, this is the problem. He talks about his sorrows like ghosts, images appears and disappear again without anybody feels or sees them. Vapor toast and live like vapor toast. Vapors is like vapor, so he feels himself like vapor, not seen, not felt. So of course, uh, uh, um, realized that he wrote that when he was in the asylum. So after that, he says, into the nothingness of scorn and noise, into the living sea of waking dreams, where there is neither sense of life nor joys, but the vast shipwreck of my life's steams. Even the dearest that I love the best are strange, nay, rather stranger than the rest. Now he's talking. Of course, after that, we'll find the figures of speech and find the sound devices. But let's see the paraphrase first, the meaning, general meaning. Okay, second stanza, he's talking about his uh, um, feeling that um, he's desperate, actually. He's so desperate that very aspect of his life seems meaningless. So he feels everything is meaningless, no meaning for his life. um, into the living sea or waking dreams, where there is neither sense of life or joy. So he's like in the sea, or like he's just dreams. She's just dreams of everything, not real life. No sense of life, nor joy, no happiness, no life. Vast shipwreck of my life's esteems. He feels that his uh, uh, his life is shipwrecked, like destroyed. So his dreams, like a shipwreck, like a wrecked ship. Even the people he liked and respect most seems to be strangers to him. Even the dearest, the people he liked the most, that I love the best, are strange. So he feels even close people are strange for him. He doesn't know them. They don't know him. Nay means no, completely not, rather stranger than the rest. So he feels the nearest people are stranger, not just strange, no, stranger than everyone else. So he feels himself completely alone again, the idea of loneliness. Um, I long for scenes where man had never trod, a place where women never smiled, where woman never smiled or wept, there to abide with my Creator God, and sleep as I in childhood sweetly slept, untroubling and untroubled, where I lie, the grass below above the vaulted sky. Now he's talking about what he wants in life. Okay, so he wants what? Now he's alone, nobody feels him. Nobody cares about him. So this is okay. Now we know what he wants to do. I long for scenes. Long for means to want something very much. Where scenes means places where man had never trod. Never trod means no one goes before. Okay, no one goes to a place. So a place that never, no man, no human were there before, a place where women never smiled or wept. So no women smiled there, that place, or cried there. So no humans went to that place. He wants to go to such a place that nobody wants before went before. There to abide with my Creator God. Why he wants to do that? To abide means to be with his God. So he wants to be with God only. He doesn't want people. He doesn't want the humans. He doesn't want friends or family because of already they are not here. So he wants only to be with his Creator and sleep like in childhood sweetly slept. He wants to sleep like a child, sweetly slept with happy dreams like a child, no responsibilities, no sorrows, no problems, no feeling of loneliness, nothing. Just a happy child sleeps sweetly. He also wants what? To be untroubling and untroubled where I lie. He said that. Untroubling and untroubled where I lie. I don't want to be troubled by any person. I don't want anybody to trouble me. So I don't want to make a problem for anyone or anyone to make a problem for me. The grass below, above the vaulted sky. So he wants to sleep on the grass uh, above him, the sky. He liked the idea of having the sky above him like a dome, covered. So like a cover, he wants to be covered with the sky and to sleep on the grass like a child with no people, alone without any problems. Okay, kind of course he was depressed, and depression is a serious illness, by the way, according to psychology. It's a serious illness. People can kill themselves. It's not depression like the idea of I feel depressed to be sad. No, it's much more than this. Here he was really depressed to the extent that he can do anything to maybe to finish or to end his life. Okay, this is the meaning. Generally the paraphrase. This is the paraphrase. Of course, everything is in the booklet as you see. Okay, let's, for example, okay, let's read the, or let's find the figures of speech. Literary terms. Here we have a simile, line 2. My friends forsake me like a memory lost. Okay, so what is the simile? Simile, when we compare two things together without using, we using like or as. So simile to compare two things together and to use either uh, like or as. Here he said, my friends forsake me like if I am like a memory lost. So this is a simile. The poet compares the abandonment of his friends to a lost memory using the word like. So he compared himself and being alone with the idea of being a memory, a lost memory, using the word like to show that his friends have deserted him and how lonely he is. This shows his feeling of loneliness. Okay, another simile, line 5. He said, like shades in love and death's oblivion lost. Again, another like. So the poet compares his forgotten sorrows. So he talks about his sorrows, his problems, his sadness to the lost memories of love and death using the word like. So, like his sorrows, like shades in love and death, like shades in love and death, memories of love and death. So when people have memories about love and death, things went and ended. He's like that. His sorrows like that. They don't care about his sorrows because they consider them nothing, something finished, something dead. He used the word like to show that everyone neglects him and doesn't care about his problems and sorrows. Okay, another simile, line 6. He says, and yet I am and live like vapors tossed. Compares himself with vapor. The poet compares the triviality of his life to vapor to show how neglected and unimportant for others he is. So just vapor. So he's like vapor, so he's not important at all. Okay, so three similes till now using like to compare two things together. The poet usually used like to compare himself or his sorrows with things lost and forgotten, completely forgotten. Okay, we have what else of figures of speech? So number one, simile. Number two, we have a contrast. In line four, he says, they rise and vanish in oblivious hosts. So they use the word rise and vanish, two opposite words. Okay? Two opposite words to emphasize the meaning, to clarify the meaning. Usually we use contrast to clarify the meaning. Repetition, we have a repetition, line 1, 6, line 1, 3, and 6. He said, I am, yet what I am, none cares or knows. Again, I am the self-consumer of my woes, and yet I am another I am, and like Weber's toast. I am is repeated several times. Why? Why do you think that he says I am, I am, I am? Abdurrahman, can you hear me? Abdurrahman?
أيوة يا مس.
Okay, can you tell me عشان أحس إن حد معايا كده according to what you heard, what's
أيوة
the
يا
usage
مس.
of I am, I am, I am? Why? Okay, when someone feels that he is neglected and nobody knows about him and he's nothing, so not to be with people against himself, so he wants someone to feel him or to feel that he exists. So he's telling himself, I am, as if he says, he wants to say that I am here, I still alive, I am here, I feel myself, I am existed. So this is the idea of repeating the word I am because he feels that nobody feels him or knows about him. So he wants to assure himself that he is still here. Okay, he wants to assert his existence. This is the explanation of I am, in spite of all his or this negligence. Okay, so we have also another thing to clarify the meaning. We know that figures of speech to clarify the meaning, to emphasize the meaning, like similes, like repetition, like here also this is the personification. We have uh, 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 um, um, figures of speech for the meaning, and what about sound devices? It's for the music. So here we still talk about the meaning using repetitions, contrasts, similes, and personification. We have in line 3 and 4 he says, I am the self consumer of my woes. They rise and vanish in oblivious host. Woes are personified as humans, okay? Self consumer of my, like people. His sorrows are like people or like humans who can grow and disappear to show that he manages to face his problems on his own. So he talks about his woes or sorrows like people to rise and to vanish, to appear and disappear, and wants to say that he faces them alone. Okay, the rhyme scheme is easy. It's easy to know the rhyme scheme. Okay, stanza 2 or second stanza, we explain the words. Of course, you have the definition of the vocabulary and the paraphrase, I explained it. Here, let's go to the literary terms again. He says, what? Into the living sea of waking dreams. Okay, Abdurrahman, I'll convert this video and start another one. Go again to the link. Okay, I close now and open in a moment.